Okay, let's watch Vic's deposition together. I put together all the interesting parts, so let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. I'll throw an occasional comment here and there, but for the most part, I'm not going to be saying anything because I want you guys to just listen to what's going on. Let me know what you guys think.
What's your full name?
Victor Joseph Mignogna.
How old are you?
56.
You ever go by any nicknames?
Vic, I mean.
Is that it?
Yes.
What about the Fuhrer? You ever go by the nickname the Fuhrer?
No.
Have any?
Excuse me,
Are you aware of
could you say that louder?
the Fuhrer?
The Fuhrer?
Yeah.
As in Adolf Hitler?
I don't know.
Is that how it's spelled?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Are you aware of there being any group of people out there in the world that refer to you as the Fuhrer?
Yes.
Who refers you to the Fuhrer?
Many years ago, members of my fan club, the Risenbull Rangers, thought that it would just be fun, since it was kind of a nickname of the fan club, that they were kind of that they were Rangers, and somebody made it up as a joke. I had nothing to do with it. It was short-lived. I didn't make it up. I didn't condone it. It was just something some fan made up.
Do you know if your mother ever referred to you as the Fuhrer?
What kind of question is that? Has your mother ever referred to you as the Fuhrer? What?
The Risenbull Rangers started referring to you as the Fuhrer. You understood the inappropriateness of something like that, correct?
I didn't really have any feeling about it.
If somebody called me the Fuhrer, I would tell them to stop immediately because it's anti-Semitic and refers to a time in our history where terrible things were done to Jewish people. Do you have that same feeling?
Of course I do.
Okay. So you would agree with me that if there were people out there calling you the Fuhrer, one of the things you would do would be to intervene to stop that.
I knew that they were fans who meant nothing by it. They're young people, and I didn't address it one way or the other, and it died off.
All right, I'll object as non-responsive. My question was not what you think the fans might believe, but if you agree that it would be...
I believe you asked me if I told them to stop, and I said no. And my answer to that is no, because they were fans, and I knew they didn't mean anything by it. Their intentions were nothing more than playful, and so I didn't address it, and it died off.
Is your reputation as a voice actor, is that important to you?
Yes.
Why?
My reputation in general is important to me.
Object is non-responsive. Is your reputation as a voice actor important to you?
Of course.
Okay, why?
Because it reflects on me as a person, it reflects on me as a professional in a field.
And do you feel like you have a positive reputation as a voice actor in your field?
I believe I do.
And how long have you had that, what you would call positive reputation?
Well, I've been a voice actor for almost 20 years, so I can only assume that since I've been hired repeatedly for, over 20 years, that somebody must think I'm relatively good at what I do.
Okay. And over the last 20 years, have you attended conventions for Japanese anime films?
Yes, sir.
Is that part of how you make a living?
Sorry?
Is that part of how you make a living?
Certainly.
And I assume these conventions are open to the public?
Yes, sir.
And lots of people come and watch or meet you at these conventions?
Yes, sir.
What's the largest number of people that you think you've ever spoken to at one of these conventions?
I have no idea.
More than 20?
Sure.
More than 100?
Probably.
More than 500?
That's the point at which I wouldn't be able to comment specifically.
Are you usually in a room of the same size that we're in right now?
The sizes of the rooms vary.
Are they bigger or smaller than the room we're in?
They vary.
Well, are they bigger or smaller in this room?
They vary.
Vic's face. They vary, motherfucker.
Is your personal reputation important to you?
Yes, sir.
Why is that?
What kind of question? What are these questions, man? Is your personal reputation important to you? Of course, everyone's reputation is important to them. That's like asking, oh, do you enjoy food? Oh, yes, I do. Oh, okay, why?
Why?
The same reason anyone's is important to them.
Well, not anyone is suing my clients for defamation. You are, sir. So why is your reputation important to you?
Well, because it goes to credibility, it goes to the opportunity to continue to work and be hired.
Anything else?
Nothing comes to mind.
If you think of something, feel free to jump back in. It's not
Yes,
a power.
sir.
It's not a power test. With regard to your credibility, how has whatever you think Mr. Toye has said, how's that hurt your credibility?
Mr. Toye has made a large number of public assertions to which there is no evidence or proof. They're very negative. They're defamatory.
Okay.
And, sorry.
No, you get the answer until you've done.
Go ahead. I apologize.
So, Mr. Toye has made allegations that you would consider to be uncredible?
Yes, sir.
Right. And so, if those aren't credible allegations, that really hasn't hurt your credibility, has it?
Nope, that makes absolutely no sense. It doesn't matter if the accusations are credible or not. It matters how the public perceives those accusations, as Vic will say in a second here.
There is a matter of public perception that I think we can all agree is pretty prevalent and powerful these days.
I understand what public perception is. I'm trying to figure out whether or not somehow your credibility has been hurt by what Mr. Toye has said.
Yes, I believe it has.
Okay, how?
By altering the perception of people that make decisions about my work and career.
All right. And is Mr. Toye the only person that's had this negative impact on the perception of people that hire in your line of work?
No, I don't believe so.
Other than Ms. Rial and Ms. Marchi, anyone else that's done anything to hurt your credibility in the voice acting industry?
I'm sure.
Can you identify any of them as you sit here right now?
No, sir. Not by name. Many of them are screen names. You know, on a computer, you don't know who they are. You don't know where they live. You know, you can't know, really.
You would agree with me that the allegations surrounding your alleged homophobia, anti-Semitism, and sexual harassment are being discussed publicly, correct?
They are being discussed publicly, yes.
And that, because of that public discussion, that's hurting your credibility, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And it's not just Mr. Toye and Ms. Marchi and Ms. Rial that are discussing that. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you suing anybody else as we sit here today?
No, sir.
Have you sent retraction letters to anybody else?
No, sir.
Please sue
Would
other
you
people.
agree with me that the damage to your personal reputation is also damaging to your fan base?
Possibly.
Would you agree with me that if this litigation was resolved in one form or fashion, that would be a benefit to your fan base?
Would you rephrase that, please?
Yeah, if this litigation is resolved, that would help your fan base, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Well, for instance,
I've never been involved in anything like this. I don't really know what the outcome would be or how it would affect anything.
Okay. How about this for an example? If the litigation was resolved today, your fan base could save their money and not donate to the GoFundMe campaign that's been set up for you. Do you agree with that?
I have nothing to do with that.
Objection non-responsive. Would you agree with me that if this litigation got resolved, then your fan base wouldn't have to donate to your GoFundMe campaign?
They don't have to donate. No one is compelling them to donate.
No one's asking them to donate.
I'm sorry?
And no one's asking them to donate.
Not that I know of. I have nothing to do with that.
I'm asking. Please
Do you know
donate.
how the money is spent?
No, sir.
So who makes sure the money is actually spent for your benefit?
I didn't set it up. I don't know anything
Objection
about it.
unresponsive.
I don't know.
So you have a GoFundMe campaign out there in your name. Do you know how much money's in it?
No, sir.
You have no clue.
No, sir.
So somebody's raising money with your name and face on a GoFundMe page. Would you agree with that?
That's what I've been told, yes.
And you have no idea? Do you know who runs that account?
Do I know who funds the account?
Runs the account.
Oh. I believe it was set up by a gentleman named Nick Rekieta.
You've sued Mrs. Rial.
Yes, sir.
You've sued Miss Marchi.
Yes, sir.
Hadn't sued anybody else, right?
Mr. Toye.
Mr. Toye.
Who's mad?
Not yet, in answer to your question.
Are there other people
Anybody
you
else?
plan on suing?
Possibly.
Are there other people out there that have damaged your reputation that I should know about?
Possibly.
I mean, they do more damage to your reputation than my clients.
I don't think so.
What are the private apologies that you made?
Shortly after Monica publicly stated that I had done something that upset or offended her in some way, I've been friends, at least I considered us friends for a very long time, and so I wrote Monica an email basically saying, I am mortified if I've done something somewhere in the past to upset or offend you, but would you please tell me what it is? Because I didn't know in what she was referring to in her tweets.
That's the only person you privately apologized to?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so if I understand this correctly, Ms. Rial publicly made statements about you that reflected negatively upon you.
Yes, sir.
Did they describe why she felt negatively about you?
The first several, for the first bit of time, I can't tell you exactly how much time, were rather vague. And that was when I wrote her. As I said, we'd been friends, my understanding, for 20 years.
Okay. The public apologies, what would those be?
I put out a tweet at some point that just basically said, I am extremely sorry for any unintended, certainly unintended offense or, anything that has hurt or offended anyone. Certainly never my intention. And I also apologized publicly at an event.
And who are you apologizing to?
Specifically?
Yeah.
Anyone who I inadvertently offended.
And what did you think you were apologizing for?
Inadvertently offending them.
And when you say inadvertently offending, you're talking about giving hugs or kisses and things like that, people that didn't want it.
Whatever it was that people had a problem with.
Right. Now, were you also referring to instances, the various instances in your hotel room where it was just you and a woman? Was that
No,
part
sir.
of it? So the public and private apologies didn't apply to that.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
As we sit here today, that a number of people have accused you of inappropriate behavior in your hotel room at these various conventions. Do you agree with that?
No, sir.
You don't think that you've been accused publicly of inappropriate conduct in your hotel room?
You said a number of people. I'm not aware of a number of people accusing me of that.
So you're quibbling with the word. And you understand that there are people who have accused you of inappropriate acts that have not disclosed their names. You're aware of that?
Yes.
And would you agree with me that you, because they want to maintain their privacy, you would not want those names disclosed publicly?
I believe that someone who makes accusations publicly, especially with the intention of destroying someone's reputation or job, at least should be identified. I don't believe somebody should have the power to destroy someone and remain safely anonymous.
I 100% agree.
Think you're a pretty good judge of character of people?
Apparently not. I thought I was.
And when did When did you start to doubt your ability to judge people's character?
When people that I have known for many, many years who have treated me publicly, privately, to my face, in dozens of settings as friends, and then spent the last 5 months trying to ruin my career and reputation.